Hello everyone, welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Last episode we explored Vithea and did a whole bunch of lightning craft. And since then, I have done a bit of moving. These two farms are now gone, and instead of rebuilding them in Eden, I just extended our sapling wall with some crafters. This is probably way better than just growing them, and I think it's a little bit less laggy now. Also, I rebuilt biodiesel. No generator. Also, I built out this big room in preparation for extreme reactors. It looks a bit boring right now, but I'm sure we'll fill up the walls with things. So that leads in perfectly to what I want to do today, which is make a reactor. We're going to need cyanide and plutonium. We're not too fussed about power. It's a nice bonus, I guess. So we're going to need a whole bunch of these casings, which are quite expensive, on dark steel, but that's fine, mystical iron, and elf glass, also luminescence. And because we need so much, I increased this buffer to a full draw, because this is 1-to-1 with casing, and we need like almost thousands of these. It's not actually that expensive, because you get 6, so it didn't really drain our resources at all. So we can make a recipe. It wants 16. All the recipes are very expensive. For example, this is the controller. 4 impetus cells and inverted potentia. Impetus cells are really annoying, so I might just steal them. I'm pretty sure we got some from the loot machine, but we've now run out. So I might do a bit of that instead of crafting these. But the rest of the recipes are also expensive. The power tap requires one of these, a cryo-stabilized flux duct, which is quite expensive. I'm sure we can figure it out though. And the access ports require warded chests. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's fine. And the fuel rods and control rods, which we're going to need a lot of, are quite expensive. Yeah, a whole bunch of rods. So I want to avoid using this recipe, and I will move to an on-demand sawmill to save a bit. And I'll change all the recipes. Why not? So I'll encode everything. Also, I'll add another one of these, but for redstone. It's useful for these two. We have a whole bunch of clathorites, and I think it's the most efficient way, so we'll use these. There we go. It's incredibly fast, nice to see. Now we should be able to order these two. Brilliant. Okay, I've encoded everything. So 1 power tap. Everything should be automated. And for the ports we do need to make the warded chests. I'm not sure if it's worth auto-crafting these. It might be a waste of a slot. This is the only use. And then for this, I guess we can have a pattern anyway. In the old chest, or the arcane table. So 2 access ports. There we go. And I have thought about how big I want this. I think I'll do 13 by 13 by 7. So 11 by 11 by 5 internal. I can always extend it upwards to increase the cyanide. And I have been making designs. I want 25 control rods, which means 75 fuel rods. So we'll see if we can craft it. Skystone. Yeah, I haven't automated that yet. Is there any way to? So I'll just go to autumn. This should be plenty. A couple stacks. Okay, way more than expected. A full inventory's worth. And we're not even done. We can do the fuel rods. Not too expensive. This would have been 450 Skyfather if I didn't change the rod recipe. So I'm glad I did that. And now we can afford the control rods too. After these two are done, it's just the controller and all the casing, which shouldn't be that bad. Also, it's not 75 fuel rods, it's 125. We're going for 5 high internal, not 3 high. My fantastic math skills, once again. So I did some more stealing, like you may have saw, and we got 3 impetus cells, which is brilliant. We only need to craft 1. Also a whole bunch of primordial pearls. I'll add this to my collection. Also the fuel rods, and the control rods. And we have the right amount now. So if you want the controller, we're just missing a inverted potentia and some ender cores, which I've been using a lot of lately. I make them 16 at a time, and activate them all. And it feels like they last 2 seconds. I think you can automate these, but it's a little annoying. So I've been just doing this. It's easy enough. It says strike with lightning to empower. They're not that expensive, so I don't mind testing this out. Oh! Okay. Didn't know that worked. That's way easier than flying over to the evil craft place. I imagine it doesn't work with this though. I'll test it out, just in case. Yeah, okay. I expected that. We can afford the controller. Awesome! Now we just need the 2 billion casings. So I've counted, let's hope I'm not wrong. We need 237 casing, and 312 glass. I really should passive this, instead of doing it on demand. It's really slow. I'll use my first resonant kit. I hope it helps. I think I want some sort of staircase down to it. Yay, it's done! That was quick. And now we can make the reactor glass. 312. I'll build the frame. There we go. Perfect number. I think I want to extend this around the edge of the room, and then have some sort of moat of some sort of liquid as like a cooling thing, but not actually. I'm thinking either cryothium or liquid corallium. I haven't decided yet. There we go. Looks quite cool. Okay, time for the liquid. This is liquid corallium. We do get the plague if we go in there. Also, the glass just finished. A lot quicker than I expected. And this is cryothium. This does cause snow, so I'm leaning towards corallium. So I'll get a bunch of this from the wastelands. I will try a fluid outlet to fill this. Not like that. I guess one below. I did cause a minor leak. I think it melts stuff, but not this block, so I'll be careful. It's fine. I'll just let it do that. As I build the walls, we will have controller, access ports, one of them output, and the power tap at the back. Everything else glass. I might just fill this in manually. It seems easier than spamming a bunch of these. I got about halfway. I need to fill up again. Luckily it is everywhere. There we go. Every block is filled. Now for the design of the reactor. We don't really care about efficiency. We actually want it to be inefficient, so we're producing waste as fast as possible. So you can do that by making sure the fuel rods are not within 4 blocks of another one. Otherwise the cyanide production is dramatically reduced, like by a lot. So I've found a cool design where we can do this. And now if you look at this, none of these fuel rods are within 4 blocks because it only checks sideways and up and down, not diagonally. Obviously you can just do this, but this is exactly the same. You can't fit any more. It's just a cooler design. So basically we're doing a bunch of lines like this, if that makes sense. There we go. That's one layer. We just do this to the top. Perfect. And control rods on top. And the remaining reactor glass. I don't think there's a better way of doing this. The wand won't work. There we go. The multi-block is formed. So now we can extend from this P2P. Connected to an interface. Requesting Eulorium. We have so much of this. I don't think we'll have a problem of running out. Input into a drawer. For the purpose of looking cool. And now we can have a different drawer. All the way upgraded. With one void. Just in case. With a storage bus. This will be for the output of cyanide. Clean everything up and insert into here. I guess with conduits. There we go. The fuel is filling. Now we're completely full and we can turn the reactor on. Wow! We probably shouldn't waste all this power. It's fine. But look at this. The cyanide production. One every couple seconds, which is alright. And we just conduit into here. I think I'll just use a bunch of power cells because these can accept 20k per side, and we're producing like 6 million. I'll have a small platform out the back, with 4. This should be about 480k, since there's 6 sides, times 4, which is fine. We can extend this, if we want to, in the future. Okay, this should work. I don't see us using more than that power anyway, and we already have 6 stacks of cyanide. Brilliant! So now we can move on to plutonium, which is a simple alloy between mystical iron and cyanide. So we can have an induction smelter. Limited item filter these two, because it's not very smart. There we go. I will buffer a stack, and straight away we can have another pulverizer, to pulverize this down into the dust, which then should be pulled into here, in which we set up last episode, to make growth and fusion liquid. Fantastic! We just push this downwards, into the fluid transposer, give it power, also sticks, and now we have crop sticks. I guess you need the liquid. Yay! I am so excited. If you don't know, crop sticks are very powerful. They let you dupe crops, which is very useful for mystical agriculture, and you can also level them, so they're faster and give more. It's quite OP. It should fix a lot of our problems. So I'll take a break, and tomorrow, it's cropping time. We're gonna go a bit crazy. Okay, so it's been a little bit. I've been fairly busy. I put a ring of blocks around the reactor. I'm surprised how much better it looks with such a small change. Also, I made the wireless terminal. I've got it set to tab. We just have one of these with a link card in, which is quite cheap, and the security terminal. And as you can tell by the cyanite, it's been a while. I've been setting up one thing in Eden. This. It's an automatic seed leveling system. I did not design this. I will link the tutorial. It's very complicated. It took hours and hours. Basically, you put a seed in here, and it places it down there. It will spread around for a while, leveling up its stats. I think there's 3. Gain is the yield, growth is the speed, and strength isn't really important since weeds are disabled, but it accounts for it anyway. Basically, it just reads the MBT for those 3 values and adds them together. And once they're 30, because each one is max 10, it will be completed, 10, 10, 10, and it will appear here. And as you can see, I tested it with some normal seeds. You can't see the stats without an analyzer, but you can just hold Control Shift and see it in the MBT. So you can see growth 10, strength 10, and gain 10. And this only takes a couple minutes per seed. So it's very, very fast. If you want to avoid making this, there is a very lazy way, which I did in Project Ozone. You just make a really long line, like this, and then put the seeds on here. And because they only can get better, it will slowly level up. And once it gets to the end, you can either extend it or just loop it back around to here. But it is very time consuming, so I'm glad we have this. So I think we can start leveling these. We just need to put the seeds in the input. There we go. It does always waste exactly 1 crop stick, so I'll get a collector. I'll just put it here. It's quite a big range. And look at this, the ice seeds are already done. It should be on to the next one. Nature seeds. So now we can take the 10, 10, 10 seeds and place them back. They should work with this, I think. This is what I mean by duping seeds, by the way. Because they spread. And they should be all 10, 10, 10. The nature seeds are done as well. We can get those going as well. And now the ice seeds are finished, we can press play. These should be a lot faster and give more. I might spam more hydrators. I'll get the wood seeds going as well. And the dirt seeds. Also the grains of infinity seeds. And the water seeds. All done. That was quick. I might mess around with the hydrators. I don't think these are doing much. So we can even have this for a 9th plant. How about we have crosses like this? These have a big enough range to get everything, and they overlap, so I'm hoping that helps. I think it does, because these instantly grew, and these ones over here, which are out of range, are not. So I'll make another one of these, over here. I just need 4 more hydrators. There we go. How fast is it now? That makes a huge difference. Definitely use range add-ons with the hydrators, rather than spamming low range ones. It makes such a difference. Look at this. This is only 10 hydrators. I'm glad I fixed that. It was so slow before, but now we're getting a stack every second. The lasers are a bit weird though. They don't always work. It's a bit confusing. For example, this is connected to this, and this, but it's not emptying this one, or this one, but it is with this one. So I don't know. It's weird. I wonder if it's to do with the slave, because this should work. Maybe more item interfaces. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas here. Okay, I believe this works, for some reason. Guess I'll just do this. I'm not sure why it works, but it works. So I guess we'll move on to tier 2 seeds. There isn't too many. I've pinned them all here. We have made some of these before, like fire, and nether, and rubber, but we'll have to remake them. We used them for a craft for some reason. I don't remember. These aren't too useful. HOP graphite's nice, obsidian too, but that's about it. Most of these are useless, but I will craft them anyway. So I guess I'll work on those. It's just a bunch of craft like this. I don't see it being too hard. Okay, that took a while. Over half of that time was spent with the mob seeds. They were very annoying, so you can put all of these in the machine. And while this is going, we can set up the farms. There were 15, so we need another chunk, because each one can hold 8. And if you don't remember, we're doing tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 and so on. We will extend it, eventually. I think this is 15 holes. so we can fill them in. So we need 15 interactors, nice and cheap, 15 range add-ons. Now we can place them all, give everything power. The seed machine is going well, it's done 4. Now that we have a middle plant, we can have glass here in the center. I don't know if it makes a big difference, but if we have glowstone here, less scaffolding. Much easier to build. There we go. I think we'll do the hydrators next. There we go, 35. And I did +4 for the range. So every cross section will do this shape. We also want energy and speed. And the seeds are doing very well. 11 seeds done. That's great. I feel like it's faster than me setting up the farms, which is a really good sign. We shouldn't ever have to wait for it. Okay, hydrator time. And there we go. All done. So we can set up these two. Just like that side. Connect everything. I actually have to move these, I think. We need space for 15, so 7 on each side-ish. And these are a bit close. I'll move them slightly, just to be a bit neater. Please work. That would be very nice. It looks like it is. That's good. Because now we have much more space. I think it's done, by the way. And they should all be 10, 10, 10, which is great. Now I pause all the interactors. I don't think they spread when they're being harvested. Place the sticks in. And now we can just place them in to let them spread. I'll try do it in this order. So fire, nether, coal, obsidian, HOP graphite, mystical flower, silicon, rubber, pig, cow, chicken, sheep, rabbit, sulfur, and saltpeter. So like before, we have 2 slaves connected with trim. This is connected to this controller, which is connected to this slave, which these are inputting into. So we can have trim, 7 drawers on this side, 8 drawers on this side, just like this, 1 void in each, so it doesn't stop. Integrated dynamics does not like that. It breaks the pipes, and then max everything out. We might as well. There we go. And now all we do is turn these on, and filter these. And I'll make sure everything is in the right place. I have coordinated them. And now we've ran into the same problem, where this one doesn't go. Neither this one, or this one. I really don't understand it. Oh, okay. We just weren't extracting fast enough. I was wondering what that was. I'll do it over here too, just for symmetry. There we go. And now everything is working. And the speed is insane. I guess we can start crafting stuff. I guess we'll complete these ones first. So power, extract from the drawers, and the slave. Why not? And input via filters. Water is useful for clay, I guess. I'm not doing any of the others. I'll put that in a compacting drawer. So input dirt, and water, and make clay. Easy as that. And then extract on brown. Into the slave. Dirt seeds are used for a lot as well. I might just craft dirt though, and maybe grass. I can always add more, if I need them. There we go. That's dirt and grass done. Thankfully this one's easy. I like these ones. I don't have to think at all. There we go. So now we can move on to these ones. Once again, fire seeds are used for a couple things. I don't even know what to do. What is useful? We don't even have stone seeds, by the way. I guess it's not a quest. We might have to craft that. Aerogel is very useful, so I'll do this one. Nothing else is really. There we go. Aerogel automated. We just had a backlog of this before. It is used for aether, so it's good we have this now. Next is coal. I might need to do other stuff, like bitumen and tar, but for now I'll just do coal. That was easy. I will be doing this for the rest, but not on camera. It takes a lot of time. I know that we don't need coal at all, but I want to do everything. I think it's a good habit, and I might as well. It's fun. Like these aren't needed at all. This maybe. The tier 3 seeds will be more useful, for like iron and alloys. I will deal with these ones though, before I make those. Okay, I've done everything. It is wired up a little different. We have a slave per crafter, and the conduits are disconnected. I ran into the same problem that I had ages ago, where they would stop for no reason. But this way seems to work. A lot faster as well. I haven't done any of these. We don't really need any of these flowers to be automated. I'll just leave it for now. So now we move on to tier 3, and look at how many there are. And because there's so many, I can't fit it on one line. I have to use 2, but I think it should be fine. So all the tier 3 seeds are infusion crafts, with intermedium. We haven't used too much of this. I think it's time to automate these. I've just been making them manually, but it should be pretty easy, because you can repair these with mending. So I'll be doing that, for Prudentium and Intermedium. We can't make the next one yet. It will be this system again, with a sequential fabricator and a tank, with XP. I'll do it over here, since we have XP. This is probably fine. So insert on lime, push and pull from the tank to the left. We'll also push and pull with this, I think. I'm not sure. So we make 2 of these. Oh, we already have one. Oh well. I think we need mending on both of them for it to work with the tank. I'm sure we have a couple in here. There we go, a mending bow and a mending rod. Now we just extract them. And it works. And now if we set these recipes, like so, and put the crystals in, there we go, it got repaired. That is brilliant. So now we just replace this with a compacting drawer. And I'll transfer this over. It's very fast. And now all we do is input via filter with the blocks. There we go, it's working. And now we're making intermedium. And it's fully automatic. So now that we have intermedium automated, I think we can go ahead and make all the tier 3 seeds and plant them all. This might take ages, but you'll see it in a montage. So let's get busy. All in a day's work. Well, actually about 4 hours. We now have 42 tier 3 seeds. There is a couple more, but they're not quests, for some reason. I will make them if I need them, I suppose. A couple of these use other seeds in the craft. For example, steel seeds use iron seeds. So rather than crafting more, I just quickly duped them with crop sticks, and then reset them by placing them not on crop sticks. I'm not sure if you need to do that, but I did it anyway. Also, if these hydrators were very expensive on TerraSteel, we ran out like twice. So that is something to look at. I might do some mana detection, so that it doesn't use up all our mana. But I'm not doing that now. So I guess we can start crafting now. We need 42 crafters, tier 2. So we can have power, the crafters, a bunch of item conduits, all separated, like this. And now some energy conduit. And now we extract from the drawer and the slave on green, input into the crafter via filter, and extract on brown, back into the slave. There we go. Now we're ready to filter. I think we'll start here with iron, copper, nickel, black quartz, bronze, solarium, moonstone, which is interesting. Dye seeds I'll come back to if I ever need it. Spider eyes and string from spider seeds, blizz rods, blitz rods. I found a use for dye seeds. We can make pink dye, so we can use it for pink slime. I think that's quite useful, so I will do that. There we go. I guess this is a bit weird, since we're inputting an item and not an essence, but it's fine. So we can have slime, and pink slime. Maybe the other slime as well. The 2x2 one. Rotten flesh, nether quartz, glowstone ingots, platinum, which is amazing, steel, aluminium, tin, and for gold, I want to do these 3. I will have to use some sort of interface. Since nether essence is over here, it's not the same draw network. This should be fine though. There we go, that works. So we can have gold, demon ingots, and cincinnassite. So now we've done about half of them, we can move on to the second half, with redstone, lead, certus quartz, electrum, lumium, refined obsidian, glowstone, which can go in the compacting drawer. I didn't know that, because you can't craft from this back into glowstone. I did not think it would work. arrows and bones from skeletons, fish and prismarine shards and crystals from guardians, basalt rods, quicksilver, mineral berries and chunks, amber, blaze rods, gunpowder, endstone, purpur, chorus fruit, and ender air, thanks to this interface, pulling nature essence and bottles, and this is from end seeds, fluix, redstone alloy, my favourite block, invar, osmium, silver, and finally, lapis. Wow, that was a lot of work. Some of these are very good though, like all of this is useful, the alloys are very nice, all the thermal rods, which is lovely, we can even turn off our mob farms. Pink slime is great, platinum, which is amazing. I'm so glad everything worked out with this farm. It's working amazingly. So there isn't really anything else to do. I've accomplished all that I wanted with this episode. So I think it's time to end. I'm very excited about what's coming up. I love astral sorcery. And with all this automation of a bunch of materials, we should be able to dive right in. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.